Afternoon and welcome to this class. Uh, is my slide and I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so today we are going to look into the fourth module. Actually, we have completed the fifth module in the last class. I'm just getting back to the fourth module, which will be there for your CAT 2 examination. Okay, so in this module, we will be discussing about work study. In work study, we will be discussing about method study, time study, stopwatch time study, work measurement, performance rating, allowances, and few fundamentals of ergonomics. This is completely a theory unit, like we have a lot of concepts to discuss and understand rather than going much into analytical part. Okay, there's it's going to be a empirical study, so there is no not much mathematics in this. uh, so to begin with, so this module is about work study. So let's understand what is work before understanding what is work study. So work, and of course, in this module, I'm going to move a little bit of fast. The rest of the things you have to learn by reading the slides or going through the other materials which I'm going to add along with this presentation. Okay, so you be ready to read and understand yourself. The concepts are very simple. So just what I will do is, considering the time duration for the CAT 2, I will try to rush up the syllabus. But if you have any doubt in between, you can stop me for understanding. Okay, so it's just going to be theory thing. So just I'll tell and I'll explain the concepts more elaborately. Just try to listen to the class and observe the points, which can save a lot of time for you to prepare for the examinations. Okay, so now let's start with the class. So this module is about work study, and to understand what is work study, we should know what is work. So work is an activity which we do by using our physical and mental efforts. Say for example, physical efforts, you are going and moving a object, a labor carrying carrying the bricks from the ground floor to the top floor, a mason constructing a house. These are called as physical efforts. A mental effort, all IT jobs, all teaching professions, they all spend a lot of time mentally than acting physically. So any activity which involves either physical or mental or both, those activities we call it as work. Okay, so now so this work is done to perform a duty, like it is done to do a task which is assigned to us. So further, this work can be classified into three types. I mean, the work is we are going to break the work into three parts. One is the fundamental thing is basic motion elements. Next we call as work elements. The third task is called as task. The task, when you complete the task, that means the work is done. So what is this? Basic motion elements. Basic motion elements is, let's take one example of one basic, the most basic, to understand basic motion element. Say for example, I have my mobile phone here, which is placed on a, imagine that is placed on a table. Okay, I am lifting my hand, I'm getting my hand to the mobile phone, I'm lifting it and moving it aside, keeping it somewhere near to the table from one place to another place. So here the movement of my hand going and grasping the object and putting it in another place, this is called as basic motion elements. That is, I'm dividing my work movements into elements. So this is called as basic motion elements. Okay, like step by step, imagine, let's take a small example like this. A bowler is going to a bowl, or a batsman is batting. So imagine if you're looking that in the replay by a slow motion, you will understand, like the bowler comes, a batsman lifts the bats, goes to the ball, he hits it with some force, and the repulsion acceleration will be there. So all these things are there. So this is called as basic motion elements. Like we are dividing the movement made physically to calculate how what is the effort involved in that work. So that is called as basic motion elements. Like we are breaking down the movements involved in doing a work. Then what is this work elements? Imagine a work element. Say for example, we will divide the task. Like you are preparing for some competitive examination, you are preparing for your final placements. So you will study the analytical part, you will prepare for the group discussion, you will prepare for GRE or TOEFL, whatever it's like you're dividing the elements. Say for otherwise, let me put it like this: to get a mechanical degree, you're doing some number of courses to achieve that degree. So that is work elements, a small breaking of the works. It is much higher than the motion elements. Say for example, attending the class daily, you are moving from your hostel to the academic block. That is one work element. From academic block to the GDN building, there is another work element. Like dividing the movement or the dividing the task, what you do into subdivisions, that is called as work. When you combine all these work elements, you will be completing the task. So that is the process of that is the called as work. So when you complete the task, that is called as work. So work means it has three parts: basic motion elements, work elements, and task. So when you are able to complete these three things, then we tell that work is done. This work can be done either mentally or physically. I hope now you understand the definition of work and what are the subcomponents of work. There are three things: basic motion elements, work elements, and task. If you have any doubt, you can interrupt me at any point of time. You have any doubt in understanding this concept? Don't be silent, please answer.
Sir. Oh, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so that's what the task I told you is the total amount of work what is assigned to a worker. Say for example, you are joining a job, your immediate boss is going to allocate some job for you. So that is called as task. Okay, you are going to divide that work and you are going to do step by step. That we call as work element. And to do that work element, you are going to again depending upon some basic motion elements like reaching an object, grasping the object, moving the object, walking, and the eye movement. All these are being taken into account. Okay, say for example, your boss has asked something. Let's say a simple example. He is asking you to take a printout. That is a task which is assigned to you. Then you are dividing it into something like you are going to download the content from the email. That is one job. You're copying that to your pen drive. That is the second work element. You're going you have to collect the papers for printing. That is the three elements, work elements. The basic motion element will be sitting and downloading, copying in the pen drive, like putting the pen drive in the laptop or in the desktop, then carrying that thing to the printer zone, and printing it. So like this you can divide, like main task, subdivision, again it is being I mean again we are dividing it again, the subdivisions are again divided again. So that is called basic motion elements. So there are three categories of work. Okay, so this has to be measured, because this has to be systematically measured, because workforce is nothing but a workforce is a cost costing activity. Like it costs the company. Like a employer is paying to the employee for what work he is done. So it becomes mandatory for them to measure the work, because the employees are paid by the employer for the work what they do. And to know or to understand or to measure what is the work done by the employee, there must be some tools. So for that there are two things: either it can be measured by using the method study principles or by using time study principles. Time study is will be depending upon the time, like within this time duration, what was deliverability, what was the quantity of work what was done. So that is called time, that is time study. In case of method study, it is we are going to analyze how well a job can be done by a particular employee, how well it should be done or how well it can be done. That has to be measured. That is called as method study. Method study is going to be the way you are going to do the job. Time study is in that particular time duration, how much good quantity and quality of work what you do. So method study related to the way we work. time study related to the quantum of work what we do. So that is called as work study. That is called as work study. Okay, so what is this method study? As I was discussing, it is going to be the way in which the work is done. Okay, so it is used to like it is normally measured to do some job by which it has to be done. Like how effectively we can use the machines, materials, and equipments which is in the industry. By using all these technical things or the physical items which is present in the work area, how better we can do the job. Okay, say for example, now we are in a situation of handling classes by online, but this is the technology what is available. The method studies how well I can take this class. Of course, you would have seen this transition among the faculty members. The faculty members initially they would have faced some difficulty in conducting the class by this method. Okay, initially they would have faced some difficulty in conducting the class through online mode, but later they would have enjoyed taking these classes by this online mode. Rather, you moving from your hostel area to the classrooms or transiting between the buildings, it's better for the faculty to for you to meet the faculties in your home, sitting inside your home, you're enjoying the classes. Okay, maybe you may be enjoying the classes. So that's how this method study is will be will have an impact on doing the job. The way we do the job is very important to ensure the quality and better working environment. Okay, so by understanding the method, by conducting a method study, we will know now you should be in the shoes of an employer. Being an employer or being an employee also, you can understand where you are wasting your time, where the process is getting delayed, what type of waste is happening in the process. Okay, all these things you can be able to measure if you are conducting a method study. Right? That is, you as an employer, if you want to analyze the way your worker is working, by doing that you will be able to avoid unnecessary operations, unnecessary time delay, or you can even avoid many wastages what is happening in the company. Okay, so that is called as method study. How to improve that? To improve that, you should understand what is happening currently. So the current situation has to be analyzed, and we should examine the critical factors. What is that? Like the factors which are affecting the effective working of an employee, that has to be assessed. And based upon the assessment, you should try to give some possible solutions. You are going to propose some solutions to overcome the critical factors which are affecting the effective performance of the employees. Okay, so that is the benefit of this conducting method study. So now we are going to see in detail how we are going to conduct this method study in this class. The first way is to select a work. Okay, as an employer, I can't tell, see, I should be this conduct. If I am going to conduct some study, or if I want to analyze the way my my employee is going to work, then that should actually benefit the company. If only if the company is getting benefited, the employer will be ready to invest some money, or ready to spend some time in conducting the study. So when you want to conduct the method study, you should select a process or the work for which the method study will be really helpful, and it should be economically benefit to the company. It should bring some technological change in the company, or it should ensure the safety, or it should bring some satisfaction, or it should bring some happiness among the employees who is working in the particular work or particular job. Okay, so when it's economically beneficial, when it's going to be technically feasible, and when it's going to be labor friendly or human, or considering human aspects, but safe and brings some is going to bring some satisfaction to the employees, then you select the particular job. Don't see, if you're running an university, for example, if we are running an university, the way the faculty teaches, that is very very important. So the method study should be conducted on the faculties, not on the other people, like the security people, or with other parts of the organization which is not supporting the which is not directly supporting the functioning of the university. So when they assess the when they conduct the method study of how the faculties are teaching the class, then that is beneficial to the university economically, technically, and in the human aspects. Okay, then what is the second step? We should record the observation. So all this work study, the entire thing is going to be full of recording. So how we are going to record? We can actually place a camera, but when you place a camera, what happens? There will be a behavioral change. Imagine in a class we enjoy so much. You are using mobile phones, of course, which we should not when a faculty is handling a class, and the faculty can freely interact with the students. That's the current scenario in V8. Imagine in a lot of universities or a lot of in schools, they place a camera in front of inside the classroom, which psychologically affects the students' mindset as well as the faculty's mindset. So recording by camera can be avoided to an extent. So to replace the recording option, there are several recording methods like that. These recordings are basically conducted to understand how the job is being done or how the work is being performed by the employee. And to do this, there are different charts and diagrams available. Let's see one by one. There are different recording techniques. Basically, it can be classified into charts and diagrams. When I say charts, I have two types of charts. I have macro motion charts and micro motion charts. In macro motion charts, I have operational process chart, flow process chart, two-handed process chart, multiple activity process chart, and SIMO chart. Then, in case of diagrams, I may have flow diagram, string diagram, travel chart, and photographic aids. So these are the charts and diagrams available to me for recording. For better understanding, let's explore one by one. So this is called as the first thing which we are going to look in this class is called as operation process chart. I believe that you are able to see a process chart symbols in front of you. So the process chart symbols are of two types. One is for operations, another one is for instruction. Let's see, if you could observe the movement of my cursor on the screen, you will find out that circle denotes operation, the arrow mark denotes transportation. If it's a square box, it denotes there is some inspection happening in that area. And this symbol is called as D. The symbol which looks like D is called as delay. The inverted triangle is called as storage, and a drop kind of thing, what you observe here, that's called as handle. If it's a diamond, or it's called as the decision making box which you draw while using a flow chart. So this is called the decide symbol. So all actions can be segregated by this symbols, which is called as operation process chart symbols. What is going to happen? Say for example, if some let's take your daily activity to understand this symbols. Operation, like this, the value addition is happening in my class now, so it's going to be operation. Then after my class, we are going to move to the examination hall, that is called as transportation. In examination hall, you're being inspected by a examination, like a cat 1 or cat 2 or FAT. So that's a square box. Now after that, your examination is being delayed, or you delay the process. Okay, so there's a delay happening in examining the part. Then after that, after writing the examination, your answer sheets are stored in the examination center. So that's the storage. Then after that, that is being handled by the particular faculty to evaluate. Then after evaluation, it's going to be decided whether you're pass or fail. So I have explained you a process, but with the symbols, I'm able to, instead of writing explanation to each and every line, if you put the symbols, it's understood that there is some operation happening, there is some movement happening, there is some inspection happening, there is some delay happening, there is some particular storage activity happening. It's going to be handled by someone, and a decision is being taken. So this is how the operation process chart is developed. Okay, and if say for individual components, if imagine that is going to be an assembly activity. If for individual components, if you are able to draw this operation process chart, and if you are able to combine together each and everything, Okay, then that is called as operation. Your complete process chart will be looking like this. If you could see, there's a full assembly happening here, and as this lines which is connecting the horizontal lines which are connecting will is denotes the assembly activity happening. Like a particular component is being assembled stage by stage to get the final component for inspection. So that is the process operation process chart. Then we have flow process chart. Okay, using the same process chart symbols, we can plot the flow process chart. Okay, like this. I will start from that. I will collect the raw material from the store. I'll go to the press. I'll wait for some time. I'll do the blanking operation. Then I'll do this. I'll wait for the stacking operation. I'll complete the. I'll move to the move and wait to perform the next activity. Again, I will stop like this. So it denotes the activity what you do step by step. Like I will collect the money from the bank. I will walk. I'll wait for some time for the bus. I'll catch the bus. Transportation will be happening. After transportation, I'll reach to my home. Then again, I will store it after some time. So like this, you can divide the activity what you do based upon the process chart symbols. That is the symbols. Using the symbols, you can write this. So here, what happens for every activity what you do, or the every work element what you do, we have the symbols. Just by connecting the say for example in store the particular activity we are storing some object, then to press means the pressing machines. So I take the raw material from here and I go to the press. Then in the press I'm waiting for some time. Then there's a blanking operation which is happening in the press. Then again I'm stacking it, so there's a delay in the process. Then again I move to the press 2. I wait for some time. I do the perforation activity, that is going to make some holes. Then I will again stack it. Again I'll get back to the move to the press 3. I'll wait for some time. I'll do the drawing operation. Again I'll store it. Again I'll take it to the trimming machine. I'll wait for the trimming machine. Then I will perform the trimming activity. Like this, if you're able to connect the points just with this four or five symbols, then you can plot the flow process. The advantages of this flow process chart is at each and every place you can plot the delay, what is happening, and what is the distance you're traveling. Say for example, wherever there's a delay, the time is being noted here, noted in this column, and how much distance you are moving from one machine to another machine, that can be added here. So at the end of the day, you can recommend. Okay, say for example, from the store to the press 1, it takes 10 minutes for the distance is 10 meters. So what we can do is we can try to keep the press very close to the store, or move the store very close to the press, so that this 10 meters of distance can be avoided. So that can be the recommendation. Similarly, if you observe in stacking here, there's a 20 minutes delay. So you can avoid this 20 minutes delay by suggesting something. So like this, based upon the time taken while waiting or doing the operation, or the distance moved, based upon this, you will be able to understand. You can recommend your suggestions for improving the way the job is being done or the work is being done. That is the advantage of this. Then what is this two-handed process chart? Previously, labors were evaluated like this. Like say for example, even now the IT employees can be evaluated for this two-handed process chart. This is a micro motion chart. So what happens here? The same. Say I have a left hand, I have a right hand. I can type using my left hand. I can type by using my right hand if I know typing very well. So depending upon the movement of my hand or my fingers, or the complete arm, the I can like the movements made by the left hand can be noted down here. The movements made by your right hand can be noted down here. That is for a particular employee. For one employee, you can assess his way of doing the job by conducting a detailed micro motion study. I told you, micro motion, like the slow motion. Okay, like the micro motion study you can do by, okay, it's like this. The left hand is waiting. After that, is holding some base plate. Then it's waiting for some time, like this. So what is the right hand can do? So most of the people are right hand people. They can perform more number of activities with the right hand compared to the left hand. Okay, if you're left hand people can do many things with many activities with left hand compared to their right hand. The usage of right hand and left hand varies from your motor skills. Okay, so this study will help you to understand the motor skills of your left hand and right hand, and you say, for example, if you're a right-handed guy and he is doing more job, sometimes this happens, right? After playing cricket or after playing for a long time, if you're going to the gym, what happens? Your hands will pain. Like sometimes your left hand will pain more than the right hand, because if you are right-handed person, when lifting weights, your right hand will be cooperating with you, but the same amount of weight, if you're lifting with the left hand, then it may pain to you. So depending upon this we can plot the two-handed process chart. Then we have multiple activity chart. Multiple activity chart is in this chart. In this two-handed process chart, we were focusing on only one employee. But in case of multiple activity chart, say for example, there is a supervisor, there's a skilled labor, and yeah, unskilled labor is assisting him. So you can we have the electrician and his contract labor, or the one who's assisting him, the fitter and his assistant, the rigger and the processman. So you can plot what is the relationship between the machine and the labor, or between two labors. Like this, you will be able to plot the activity what is performed by the labors with the machine or within themselves. So that is called as a multiple activity chart. In the same chart, you will be able to plot the interaction between men, material, and machine. Like from this, you will understand which labor, whether the electrician or the fitter or the rigger or the processman, who is actually working for more hours or more time. Okay, so if you could see here in this diagram, the processman is working very less compared to the electrician. Okay, electrician works for 2.5 hours plus again 1.5 years, like around, like is working for around say for example 3.5 hours, like 3 hours 45 minutes, whereas this processman is working for only 1 hour. So by doing this, you will know who is working more. So what we can do is we can pay more to the electrician and we can pay very less to the processman. So this is how it's going to economically benefit and identify who is ideal and who is doing more work in a organization. SIMO chart. This is going to be called as simultaneous motion cycle chart. In short, we call as SIMO. SIMO means simultaneous motion cycle chart, and this comes under micro motion study. And to understand this, we should understand the principle behind the motion economy, that is called as tremblings. This trembling is one such activity. Like we are going to assign some based upon the movements. We will be assigning some symbols. Okay, we will discuss about this tremblings very detailed in the upcoming classes. But as of now, you understand SIMO chart is completely based upon the tremblings. Okay, next. Okay, this is a chart. Okay, so next is string diagram. In this string diagram, it is very simple. Imagine a worker. Say for example, you are starting in morning when you are starting from your hostel room. I tie a thread. I tie a rope to your waist. Okay, I think you should have played this game. Okay, I tie a thread or a rope to your waist. The rope can extend wherever you go. So what will happen? The rope will actually trace the movement made by you inside the university, because wherever you go, the rope is going to follow you, which is tied to your waist. So if you could plot a line, if you could trace the rope, you will find out where you moved wherever you moved inside the department or inside the university. We can easily know. So based upon this, we can study what is the necessary movement, what is the unnecessary movement made by the labor or the employee in an organization. Most of the times, people, say for example, in a particular organization, most of the people, they know not, they to avoid working more, they will always go to the cafeteria, they may go to the restrooms. Okay, they do some kind of to escape from the job, they try to do. So by this we will understand how much time a labor is spending on each machine, on material, whether he is making more movements. How can so this will also help us to reduce the movements of the worker. So that's why initially initially the worker may be moving like this, but after conducting a study I can place the departments in a U shape, in a U type layout. So what happens, the movement of my employees can be restricted. Further, first you have to start from here, go here, again go here, come back, all these kinds of things are there. But if I'm arranging all the departments as per the movement of the labor, I can easily have a layout. Say for example, first I go collect the sheet metal, I do the marking, then I go for cutting, then I go for drilling, then again I go for folding, I'll go for riveting, then riveting again I'll come and check, then I will go and stack it. That is, I'm going to do the inventory. Rather, what I do, sheet metal, then I mark, then I drill, then I can fold, then I can rivet, then I can have the checking here, then stacking. So if I'm able to arrange my layout, this will help, this string diagram will help us to make a clear arrangement of the machines next to each other, so that the process is complete and it can avoid the movement of my labors. So that is the advantage of having this kind of work. Okay, next we have travel diagram. I no need to explain this travel diagram. Since you already know the relationship diagram, you know very well what is travel diagram. That is, from B to A is 200 meters, from B to C is 300, or from C to B it's 200, like that. So the distance travel, like travel diagram is very simple. If you open any map, you can find below the map, I mean the travel maps. If you open, you can find what is the distance between Delhi and Chennai, what is the distance between Chennai and Vellore, like this, like a bar, a bar graph it will be. Or sometimes you can, like if you are traveling by bus, sometimes if you are traveling by a bus, you can know what is the distance from one point to another point. There, that will be painted or that will be pasted inside there. Normally in local buses you can find this travel diagram. Next, the best way is to record by photographic aids. But photographic aids are normally done to check or to confirm whether the workers are using safety equipments, or in safety point of view, normally people do this photographic aids. Nowadays, the system is very advanced. You have CCTV cameras everywhere. You can record with or without the knowledge of employees. You can record their working. Actually, you can spy on them. Then you can know, that is also can be used to understand the way the employees are working. All these things are possible with this photographic aids. So now we have selected the job, we have recorded what the employees are doing. Then after that we are going to analyze how they are doing the work. Okay, then we are going to examine why this work is done, where the work is done, what is the sequence of working, then what is the methodology adopted by them to do the work. So once you do understand this based upon the charts and other diagram, other recording options, whatever you did, you should ask yourself why, what is done, why this job is done, why instead of this what can be done. So all these things, questions you should ask, and by asking this question you can eliminate some jobs which is not necessary, which is not adding any value to the product, or you can combine some jobs together, so that you will end up making a so that you can avoid some unnecessary movements, or you can rearrange some activities, so that the process becomes simplified. Okay, I will tell you one example. Say for example, say take the example of the same online classes. We have eliminated the movement what we made. We have eliminated gathering from mass gathering. By combining the process of teaching and recording, previously it was not possible to record every class, but now it is possible for us to record all the classes, and we have combined the activities, and we have combined daily. We can conduct the quizzes in one platform. We are conducting examination, we are conducting the classes. All these processes are being, some different activities are now being combined. Sometimes this can be even rearranged, or this process can be simplified. Okay, the process now simplified, right? Actually, instead of having for multiple portals, now we are working on a single platform. So like this, we are able to simplify the activities. Some of the activities are being simplified with respect to the online classrooms. Like that, wherever it's possible, we have to eliminate the unnecessary activities. You can combine 2 or 3 processes if it's really beneficial, or you can rearrange the layout for your employees to work. then you have to develop some, say for example, you're finding it somewhere, you're finding it difficult. Okay, there's some critical critical factor you identified, which is hindering the job being performed in a way it should be. So what I can do is I can select that process. I can find a economically viable solution. I should propose a effective solution which is economically and which is practically feasible. I can't say that, okay, instead of going like this, let's have a satellite for VAT. I'll conduct online classes via satellite, separate satellite, so that we don't need to worry about bandwidth and the other things. That is not practically possible, and that's not economically feasible also. But even though that can be an effective method, that's not practically and economically feasible. So, or having a separate channel TV for VAT students. That's possible. That's not, but economically and practically, that's very difficult. Okay, so we have to develop some plans by considering all these factors. What we can do is we should propose a plan which can eliminate unnecessary activities, as I told. We can combine few activities, then we can resequence or rearrange the activities. We can simplify the process, or we can remove the constraints which are affecting us from performing better. Say for example, now one student has messaged me, sir, I have joined the class late because of my internet issue. So what we can do is the constraint for him is the internet. So what I can do is I can propose him, I can ask him to have a very good bandwidth connectivity in his home to attend the classes. So I can attack on the constraints, and I can prevent, or I can focus on the things which are affecting or preventing him from attending the class from the start to end. So all these things can be done. Then after proposing the plan, we are going to evaluate the plan after real-time implementation. And once it's implemented correctly and you feel that it's done, you have to define the process. Again, you are going to define the process. Like, you have developed a methodology. I'm going to come to my students and tell students, this is how we are going to have this semester online. I will explain this methodology to this is the way I'm going to handle the classes, and this is what we have to do. We have a framework, and we have to work in this framework. I have a time limit duration. I have to focus on this. So all these things I'm going to do by defining and by explaining what is to be done in this process. So defining means after developing the plan, you are explaining to the employees what they should do so that they will perform uniformly. When I say your assignment should be submitted in VTOP, you should take your quiz in Microsoft Teams. You should have the classes in the team. All your course materials are uploaded to the Teams and VTOP. So I clearly tell you what is available where. So that's how this class is being taken smoothly. So that's why you should define to your employees what should be done. Then after developing the plan, you implement the plan and engage all people effectively. If needed, you can even train the people, and like developing some standard operating procedures. We call as SOP, standard operating procedures. We should develop a standard operating procedures so that everyone follows it. Then sometimes what happens, you follow 1 day, 2 day, the third day they will again follow the conventional method. So to avoid that, a strict monitoring facility should be there to monitor whether they are sticking to the modified SOP which is proposed by the company or the organization. So that's how we should do. So this is what we do this is how the method study is being conducted. Okay, in next class we will be discussing about the work measurement techniques. Okay, work measurement techniques. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. So no doubt. Okay, thank you then.